the now classic.
Warriors! What a pleasure it is, as always, to see you in my arena.
I control combat. The arena is mine, rightfully. I think you know this.
I thought you would rest longer before joining us, Amaterasu. Death is a natural part of combat.
Not in this arena, it isn't, brother.
One could even say that combat is only a pathway to death.
Ah, if I did not see the tether joining the two of you, it would not be difficult to see that this one is sired by the Great Spiritus.
The one Spiritus.
Yes, the only one among us who did not change his name. A testament to his ego when he sat on the convocation.
An ego rightfully deserved. And are you going to continue to force me to speak to the skies?
Very well.
A creature will appear in the rafters and will hop from statue to statue before landing. The creature is massive, but as it jumps, barely a sound echoes forth, and she will land right behind Spiritus and just kind of stare at him and tilt her head.
Oh my fucking god, that's beautiful.
It's a great model.
I love
It's a really good model.
I think Karis will immediately sink to a knee and throw his fist over his chest and bow his head.
Now then, I assume you wish to observe them in battle.
If they defeat enough opponents within this arena, or if they find the scattered pieces that were lost, I will recover my full strength.
Can Tsukuyomi not heal you?
If they manage to free my sister, then it won't matter.
She will be
Zodiac
freed.
will fall, as he did before.
Rest assured, Amaterasu, your sister will be freed. Now, shall we begin?
You have come here to fight who?
The once great warrior by the name of Demos.
Demos.
I seek to learn from him.
He'll open a maw, a rift in space and time, and reach into it. And as he does, he'll procure a pyrosoul from it. One that darts around in front of him in agitation.
Ah, yes. Yet another feisty one. Very well. To shift the arena.
Spiritus will open a palm, and as he does so, the pyrosoul, the silver pyrosoul, will coalesce in the center of the arena and form into a man. As he stands tall, he'll look around, resting his eyes on Spiritus and nodding. As he rests his eyes on Spiritus, Spiritus will shift his hand again, and the arena will transform. The arena will shift into the tundra, and Amaterasu
Flash.
will jump. Demos will walk around, just kind of nod to himself. Yeah, this'll do. He'll just kind of say to himself quietly as he draws his blade and just kind of lets it rest on his shoulder.
I'm following his walk around, except staying at his back. Very slowly.
As the party surrounds him, he'll smile to himself. Not bad, not bad. But I still think I'm better. Roll initiative.
Wow.
They always do.
Let's begin. Amaterasu will lay down, her paws forward, and just kind of watch. He has one passive called Fidelity. Completely clad in armor, making it pretty obvious how durable he is as far as armor class. He is a human. His eyes dart around very quickly from left to right, scanning over all of you. He is intelligent, and he has quick strike. As he wields the blade, you can tell because when he wields it, it moves so fast, you have trouble keeping up with it.
Hey, you look pretty strong. Care to see if that sword can match my shield?
He'll grin, steal his stance, dig his greaves into the stone, and start to glow.
You're a pretty confident guy. Let's see if we can take you down a peg.
For his first mechanic, Demos will activate Armor Dozer. For his secondary mechanic, he will activate Brave Slash.
Why do I get the feeling like there's something hanging over my head?
Not successful, Georgie, clearly.
And for his second pressure mechanic, he'll activate Cross Slash.
I feel safe.
Unless it shifts.
Oh my god, it does spin. Holy shit, you want a red star?
Star's gonna be like, it's almost like I'm clairvoyant. What happens if you stand on the line? Like, can you like jump in and out like how we do with the other stuff?
You might want to reveal Finality.
Man, good thing I asked,
So
and good thing barrel and roll.
No bleed and no knockback, 200 damage.
Theros.
And that should get rid of that and summon this one. End of the round triggers. End of your turn triggers first, which would make the Dozer mechanic trigger. 300 to each of you, right?
Mhm.
You guys are afflicted with augmented armor break. Okay, that mechanic went off. Next, it is Brave Slash that goes off. You are in engagement range, which means you are the one being targeted.
Patches is specifically all
slash.
breaks. Let me...
3 times 200 damage. And then Cross Slash, which misses. Demos will activate Magic Dozer. Next, he will activate Brave Slash. And then he will activate Sweeping Slash. It kind of looks like a Pokeball.
Does that make Amaterasu the Pokeball?
I thought it looked like Simon. You know, like the Simon Says game.
I was there in
Yeah.
the early days of the universe, but that made me feel old.
Theros, Lumi, you'll have to go either up there or down there.
End of the round. Magic Dozer. Kablow. 300 damage each. Magic Break to both of you. Okay, next is Brave Slash.
Getting a little spicy. Hanging in there, Georgie.
Still good.
Next, Sweeping Slash. The area with the most people in it is this section down here, which causes both of you to suffer 300 damage.
None for me.
You need a round to recover, Georgie.
I can use a round to recharge, yes.
Demos will activate Armor Dozer. We are activating Cross Slash, Splinter Slash. Mechanic triggers, dealing 600 damage.
60.
Reduced to 60 on Orpheus since he activates Vapor.
I'm taking Lily's tether. Spend all of his blaze shards and he'll fire slash. Oh,
As he
Without
hits
touching
heavy, an auto action triggers.
Yeah, exactly.
How I have missed this. My soul misses this.
He'll take the sword, hold it above his head, and as he does, it'll activate SOS Haste.
I'm using all of my movement stuff to move up there, let Lumi pull himself to me, and then move back.
End of the round triggers, which will trigger Cross Slash. Slash, dealing 100 damage to Eros and Georgie. It is Demos' turn.
I am...
Magic Dozer, Brave Slash, Sweeping Slash, Sonic Slash, and that ends his turn.
How
I
are we
think
resolving?
this is the part where you stab him, Orpheus.
Also, this goes without saying.
But I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me this round.
You'll be fine.
I know, I have complete faith in you. I was just stating a fact.
Star. After shutting your eyes and probing with your magic, trying to sense where your not your pyre soul, but the pyre flies inside of you that are aligned to Etro. You'll find all 3 of them. There are 3 inside. And as you isolate them, you'll see that they are withered and weakened, and they are, instead of a bright, luminescent, shining color like most of your pyreflies, they are a very dark, black, sickly color.
That's good. But
you feel energy emanating from them. Strain. The pyreflies, unlike all the other pyreflies, are straining heavily. Like they're actively doing something, and they've been doing it for so long that they're just withering away. It's not like an external corruption. Like there's no stars in them. They don't look like Zodiark. It's more they're withering away because they've been actively doing something, and they can't hang on anymore, you know?
Okay, so probably protecting us from Zodiark, I would assume.
Hey guys, Future Next Year featuring a better mic. Basically what happened was I rolled a nat 1 when I shouldn't have made a dice roll to begin with, so we had to do some rearranging of spell order in order to resolve it properly. Unfortunately, it means Georgie actually goes down to the mechanics that are coming up, but you'll see what happens in the rest of the clip.
Not an inner lower in that one.
Shoot it to Georgie in order to heal him?
Yes. Also, my nat 1s were severely reduced due to passive that I shared.
Okay. Your arrow deals damage to Georgie. Critical damage to Georgie, and that's it. No healing.
I hope you can heal me, because I'm not going to survive now.
End of the round triggers, causing Magic Dozer goes off, which hits Georgie for 600. So the next thing will trigger, which is Brave Slash.
Dead.
Georgie falls unconscious. And Demos will fire the final one at the person of his choice. Okay, so I have my Magic Dozer done. Brave Slash done. Next, the most amount of people are in the center.
Yeah, the damage in that one just kind of threw our plan out the window, but it happens.
Yep.
Next mechanic is Sweeping Slash, which hits Orpheus for 300. And also Georgie, who gains a failed death save.
Yep. Give myself one.
Orpheus is the closest person to the horizontal cardinal, which means that Orpheus suffers 5 times 50 damage. Next is Lumi, right?
Yep.
A Sonic Slash. Are you gonna burn him, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna burn him. Shmiak. Hell yeah.
Oh, wow. That's why Steph was asking, I guess.
I didn't realize
after he overexerts himself firing off the last few mechanics, he'll fall to one knee with a massive clunk of metal onto stone. As his armor clanks to the floor, he'll drop his sword at his side and just kind of smile to himself.
You had your final battle. Now rest, warrior. Perhaps your time will come again.
Demos will stand up, salute by placing a closed fist over his chest to all of you, and he'll fade.
Thought warrior hit like a fucking truck.
Star will go up to Amaterasu and will bow. May I try something on you?
Amaterasu, again visibly uncomfortable, will look at Spiritus and he'll shrug.
Is it going to be another hug?
Star will say, I mean, if you want another hug, I can give you another hug, but this is a little different. I want to see if this will work.
If what will work?
If perhaps I can aid you in your recovery. I know I am not strong enough to obviously heal a primordial, and one that has been in the situation that you have been in. But if any assistance that I can lend to you would help in your recovery, I'd be more than happy to. I do have your child's fireflies in me, and I have been acquainted and connected with your sister briefly.
She'll stare at you very quietly. Whereas she was playful and welcoming before, the flames behind her eyes have become a little more erratic.
Star will look and say, the moment it begins to hurt you, or you feel uneasy and harm, I will stop right away.
What did you mean by my child?
Is your child not Etro?
Etra?
Star will kind of look confused and look at her group, and then kind of look at Spiritus, and she'll say,
Spiritus will have his hand like over his face and shaking his head.
and she'll say, does she not
Amaterasu,
have the right
before
to know?
do not leave. She speaks of Lunala. It is complicated. It occurred after the fall.
Her eyes will blaze and she'll stare at you, and for a moment, the back of a dog's back when it like
Yeah, the
goes
hackles
up.
go up. Yeah,
Yeah,
the hackles.
that's exactly what's happening now. And she stares at you, and the flames inside of her eyes just kind of burn brightly.
These are Lunala's descendants. Do not harm them.
As her eyes burn with fire, Spiritus will draw his sword, and he'll just kind of fade and appear next to her, pushing you back. Like very gently taking his hand, putting it on your shoulder, and just shoving you back a little bit and standing in between you and her.
She is ignorant, and she is young, and she does not understand. Just leave then. If you will not listen to reason, leave. Do not think I will not take your soul to protect Lunala's heritage. Her legacy.
Amaterasu, still looking agitated and angry, will look between all the warriors of light, as if she's seeing you all for the first time.
You and I together, here now. We slaughter every last one of them. And you know I can remake her.
He'll shake his head.
It is not that simple. She was fragmented in more ways than you know. She was raised by one of us. She is different. She hasn't ascended fully. Cannot just try to force it together. You may lose her forever. They have protected the twin jewels. They have kept this world safe, and they have done it through the resolve of Lunala. You should be proud. Your immediate reaction should not be to kill her legacy in a vain attempt to get her back. She is at rest.
Their makeup is soiled, toxic. They're fragmented, they are flawed. They're not like us.
And yet, after an eternity trapped with Erebos, you come to worlds still whole. They have protected what is important.
And his eyes will just kind of very slowly go up and just kind of motion towards the rift above.
I will stop you. You are weakened. And if you will not listen to reason, I will reap you.
Amaterasu will steal one last glance at you before looking at the rest of the party, and she'll fade into the sunlight, as if like the sun's rays are absorbing her.
Of course, the valorous warrior one would have a stick up her butt.
He just told her daughter's dead for the first time.
I don't think that's the appropriate response.
You have told her something that she knows nothing about, and you did so callously. I am surprised she did not incinerate us all here. That's not true. I am unsurprised, considering how weakened she is. If she was at full strength, I don't know if any of us would be left standing. Especially if my god was down. Her power is significant. She represents valor, heroism, fury, fire, and you simply tell her that her daughter is dead, and that you are some fragmented piece of her.
Star will look at Spiritus and she'll say, Did she expect her daughter to live after what Erebus has even done to her?
She knows Erebus. She knew Erebus more than any of us. And I think that is a question only she can answer, but if she is this angry, then she must have assumed that Erebus would protect their daughter.
And yet he gave her to another. In that way, he did protect her, I will admit. There must be some small part of him that is what he used to be before the void and apathy has consumed him.
Erebus was a powerful archmage. If he was able to control Zodiac the Primordial for even a moment, enough to try and save his daughter, and also recuperate his strength and satiate the creature within, then I think that him giving his daughter to Bente was not an accident.
No, I agree with that. But
It is, again, surprising that he was able to retain any amount of control inside the being known as Zodiac. I do not blame you for what happened just now. I am only trying to explain what happened.
Star will
Amaterasu
just...
will probably need time. If you try to seek her out, you may find an enemy. I would give her the space.
Star
I
will
will
just
reach out to Wisp. Wisp may not remember who he was, but in life, he was friends with Amaterasu. Maybe he can calm her down. If she can sense the kindred spirit within.
She'll look at Spiritus and she'll say, "Can she not hear us? Does the sun reach the place?"
Not with me here.
Then she'll look seriously at Spiritus and she'll say, "If she was pissed about that," and then she will explain to Spiritus what she discovered about the fireflies of Etro that are inside her.
As you recount the story and you tell more and more of it, his jaw will just kind of drop and his eyes will widen. He'll sheath his blade now that Amaterasu is gone and shake his head.
And then just for good measure, so like in case she couldn't articulate it enough, she will hold out her hand so he can see exactly what she saw and felt.
At any cost, you must keep this from her.
I knew that much.
Slaughtering all of you to recreate her daughter. She knows, as well as I, that the magic required to recreate Lunella perfectly is absolutely ridiculous. There would be almost no possible way to remember every little piece of her daughter and to put it in the right place, unless she had a pyre reflection. I fear if Amaterasu learns of this pyre reflection, there will be no force in the heavens or the jewels that will stop her from killing you all. You think Zodiac is terrifying. Keep this from her at any cost. Repair it if you can. I would suggest taking what remains of the creature known as Pelennor and placing it in a lunar tomb. I would suggest that some things should just die, and this world and the world adjacent to it and any others would do well to learn this lesson. Death is just a part of life. Etro should be allowed to rest, and anyone else who perishes.
He'll raise his voice so Lumi can hear him.
Death is not the torture you think it is. It is rest. It is rebirth. It is a fulfillment of destiny. Allow Etro to die with dignity.
Star will say, "I don't doubt that death is peaceful from the warriors that have come back here. None of them seem to be kicking and screaming. But what do we do with the fireflies that seem like they are withering within us? How do we protect them? How do we reboost them?"
You perform a cleansing. I can't do it myself. My magic does not align to it. How many of the warriors of light are Novin?
Half?
So there's Kara. She's counting on her finger. Kara, Blair, Benjamin.
That is the problem. In order to purify your Firefly makeup, we would need a primordial that is aligned to your birthplace, or to have your Firefly makeup realigned. You could have Wisp technically do all of you, but you would all have to surrender your Novin heritage and become Dressalian. If you are not willing to do that, then we must release Orpheus.
How do we do that?
Defeat Zodiac?
No.
There must be a way to get to him.
Yes, there is a friend within Zodiac that can give us a back door. In fact, one of the things he loves most is back doors. If we contact Tuashen, he can give us a back door into Zodiac's faith. That would mean going into the empty. From the Warriors of Light and their memories, I see you have been inside a faith before. Sinned.
Not us personally, but technically, yes.
Well, this will be worse. Much, much worse. I suggest not going in until we are ready. Make sure your most powerful warriors are, well, indeed powerful. But I am afraid that's what we must do. And then we will need to find another way to protect you from Zodiac's influence, which, to be fair, we can do. We would only need you all to sire yourselves to a primordial.
The only one I would want to be sired to wants to kill me now, so...
She will recover slowly, and she will mourn unless you tell her about the reflection. I will make this very clear to all of you who are listening. If you are bathed in the light of the sun, she can see and hear you. Be very careful what you say from here on out. One wrong word, and everything will change.
Our hands are a little...
Orpheus, now that you speak. Any of you who are sired to a primordial may use your channeling ability to mute Amaterasu's hearing. Make certain that the sun cannot reach you, at least for a time.
Do you think Tsukiyomi will have a positive influence on her?
Tsukiyomi is wise. She is patient. She is loving. Tsukiyomi would have a powerful influence, and if she didn't, she at the very least would protect you all. Yes, you certainly released the wrong sister to just, well, reveal all your secrets to.
Star will kind of like put her head down and shrug, and she will just say, I thought you would have known.
She has been in darkness. It's not your fault. We just need to move forward strategically from now on. Bear in mind that all the primordials were powerful and wise archmages, even Zodiac at one point. There was a time when all Erebus cared about was his wife, his little girl, and the future of my people. Erebus is not the enemy. Zodiac is the enemy.
Congratulations! Send me your votes for MVP.